The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's up, Buckman Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. Well, we had kind of a buck and bronco today, didn't we? Let's dive on in. So up first, we're going to talk about the news. Tesla announced after hours that a 5-for-1 share split is going to happen. That is huge news, and hopefully it helps prop us up. After market, we did see an 8% rally. I think it actually went up a little bit even higher than that by now. So today, after close of regular trading, Tesla, well-known American electric car vehicle company, announced that it would interest for a 5-to-1 split. Announced comes sharp rally after a sharp rally in the value of Tesla equity in recent quarters. So Tesla, if you don't know, has absolutely been rallying. So this is fantastic news. The company's shares quickly went up. Tesla, ever a controversial company, traded for as little as $211 last year. As of today's news, the company is at $1,485 per share. That is so crazy. Can you imagine? Anyone down in the comments was in at $211. It's only been a year, up to $1,485. Congratulations. Worth comfortably more than $250 billion. The B. Tesla is among the world's most valuable companies, let alone amongst the most valuable automakers. Using arithmetic, Tesla shares should be worth around $297 after the split. So what is that going to do? It's going to open it up so, people that can't afford regular shares can now get in. So that's fantastic. I'm all for the underdog being able to try and get his piece of the pie. And so if that is possible for them now, fantastic. And what does that happen? What does that mean? Stock's probably going to go up. Usually that's what happens. Does that mean it's going to happen? Not 100%, but most of the time. We'll take a look at some other things that have happened to prove that, though. Stock market split comes 2 years after Elon famously tweeted that he was considering taking Tesla private and had a funding secured. Tesla then published an email Musk had sent to employees that described his rationale, only to backtrack a few weeks later and announce the company would remain public. I will leave this up if you want to continue to look up more about that. So there's more news. The U.S. inks a $1.5 billion deal with Moderna. All heard of them? For 100 million doses of cerveza juice, anti-cerveza juice. Can you believe that? The United States has entered an agreement with drug maker Moderna Inc. to acquire 100 million doses of its potential cerveza vaccine for around $1.5 billion, the company and White House said on Tuesday. The United States in recent weeks has made deals to acquire hundreds of millions of doses of potential vaccines from several companies as part of a Operation Warp Speed program, which aims to deliver a vaccine in the country by the end of the year. That's awesome. Moderna's price per dose comes in around $30.50 per person for a 2-dose regime. That is broadly in line with the other deals that the United States has pinned with drug makers for potential vaccines. The Moderna vaccine's candidate is one of the few that have already advanced in the final stage of testing. The study aims to include 30,000 people. I'm not going to be one of them. Is on track to be completed in September, the company said this month. So I'm not going to act like I know a bunch about Moderna, because I don't, other than what I told you. But I did do some quick research, and I jumped right in. And this is a quote that I put together, and it's there's a ticker ABUS, and people are saying that they own the technology that holds the RNA in fatty lipids in order to deliver the vaccine to the cells. And mRNA, which is Moderna, which is their ticker, mRNA, is basically a sales company since they didn't have the knowledge to make a vaccine before this pandemic. This is just some random comment I pulled off the interwebs, but it kind of does tell you, because I kept hearing about ABUS too, and basically it sounds like they're the ones kind of doing it. Moderna's the brand, but they kind of coincide. So if Moderna goes sky, ABUS should go too. I blindly went into both of them a little bit. I don't recommend that. I recommend you do some due diligence on that, but I didn't go big, but I thought, what the heck? I'll try to surf this channel. Why not? So I want to dive into some charts and hopefully make us some money, or if not, save us some money. So first of all, I wanted to correlate with the Tesla, and how am I going to do that? By bringing up Apple, because they just announced a similar thing. I think theirs was like 7-to-1. I don't know. Theirs isn't done yet, but they announced, I believe it's like right in here, like right in the, I think it was like the 31st actually. So Apple was just skying high, and then had a tiny dip. And right when the 31st happened, look what happened to the stock. It went from 378.54 a share on up overnight the next day to $437.50 a share, which is a total pop of right around 16%, which is fantastic for such a big company. That's huge. So can we see something comparable to Tesla? We could. Are we? I don't know. I mean, it's already up. It was up like 8-ish%. I wouldn't be surprised if it at least matched that at the 16. So that's fantastic news. Since then it kind of only a little bit of profits were taken. And other than that, it went up a little bit more to 455, and now it's back down to kind of where it was consolidating here before, sitting at 437. That's Apple. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla's just been a monster, absolute monster. Look at that. It had its dip in March with everyone else, but quickly rallied all-time highs. And skied out at almost $1,800 a share. Came down, people took the profits, but now it's kind of been skying. It actually started looping back over, turning back over to start head down, which is not good because it looks like we have some lines that it actually broke. Let's draw that. Let's get us a line here, which is actually gonna, it sliced through this, which is at $1,415. It blasted through that. Next line is going to be probably here at this gap of 1269, but this is not after hours, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens. I mean, it's no matter what, it's going to go up a little bit, but are people going to take profits right at 4 a.m.? We'll have to see. So just protect yourself. Don't YOLO in unless you're willing to take the risk and you can afford it. All right, but something to watch for. mRNA, that's the Moderna. So this is not including the after hours. I don't remember where it's exactly spiked now, but it has gone up too. After hours, I think it's maybe around like $75 or something. But regardless, this is definitely in an uptrend. It skied out at 85, came back down, people started taking profits, rode it up again and brought it up to 95. So this actually looks totally healthy even without what just got announced. The trend looks great. You've got a line here. Let's go ahead and draw it. You've got a line, something like that. Look, it's tagged it majorly 3 times there. So as long as it stays above, let's call it about $65, we should be fine for bull. If this breaks below, get ready, it could start going down. But I think that's a big contract, 1.5 bill. That's quite a bit. Here's this ABUS. I haven't even looked at this chart. Holy Toledo. This thing looks scary to invest in, huh? Oh my gosh. Let's go back a year. All right. So there's obviously some news that skied this baby from about $3 on up to $9 in July 23rd. Was it because of Moderna? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Regardless, massive profit taking back down to $3.44. So will tomorrow smack us back up to 9? We'll find out. That's insanely parabolic, though. That could 3 extra money. Is it worth a gamble to you? I don't know. Have to figure that out. Let's take a look at the SPY. This is just blowing my mind. So this green line we've got going on up here is going to be all-time highs, right? And that's going to be at $339. And we got so close to it today, but right when it did a little hillbilly 2-step there and turned around, did the do-si-do, and started heading back down, but it didn't even tag this red line we have here yet, or any of the EMAs. So as long as we stay above, let's call it like 327, 326, we're probably going to stay in this channel and probably going to be fine. Now look at this, this is since March. So, March we were down to 228. We do have a big line here at 322. So it could come break this, try to come back down to 322, which will all start tagging some some EMAs, but right now it's still surfing the channel. It did break the main channel back in June 23rd when it brought down this other channel here that we're riding from the March lows. So just be careful though. I mean, it's definitely bull, but once you get to all-time highs, people like to get shaky. We could either hit it and smash through it, or we could hit it and go way down. So just protect yourself and be careful. Let's take a look at the QQQs. This is, again, I talk about many times, this is what's really holding up the market. If this thing goes, pretty much, SPY's coming with it for sure. But this thing doesn't look healthy. In fact, the SPY actually looks tight, a little bit better right now. But boy, we've had some crazy gap ups, but then they're slamming back down. But I mean, it's still surfing the big channel, right? It's still surfing this, and it's still right in the pocket. But this rollover looks pretty nasty, we'll have to find out tomorrow what happens. But if this thing breaks below, 260 here, it's probably heading to 255, and then from there, I don't know, But QQQ is the one that you want to try to keep in front of you, especially in this crazy bubbled market. Okay, we need QQQ to stay. I still would love to see, because Tesla too is in talks to get on the SPY. So I mean, if that happens too, that's going to be fantastic. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Let's take a look at the dollar, the average float for the US dollar here. We were riding this channel down. We actually broke above it, which is done. And, it's come up and then come back down, and then it's kind of going up to find some resistance. But I mean, it looks like it's going up. Now, remember, the dollar likes to work in opposite of like gold and silver. So if the dollar starts skying, chances are the precious metals are going to start going down. Now today we had some big sell-offs for gold and silver, but the dollar wasn't really skying like I thought. I mean, we only ended the day up 0.04%, which kept telling me that gold and silver are probably going to be okay. And not only that, TLT also works the same way kind of as the dollar. Basically, people run to TLT when they're scared. Like, if the market's crashing, people like to go to TLT, and TLT has been down. I remember into last week, I don't know if you saw the video, but I was saying how I want to put some calls in or buy some shares of this TLT because we were riding in this super tight little pipe here we were getting at. And I said, I'm not going to buy. I really want to, but I need to wait and see if it's going to break out of this. And it broke out of it, and thank God I didn't buy because it broke down south. In fact, it went down, and then it had this gnarly gap. You see this? This was yesterday. This gap down, what we opened up to, bam, gap down to 167 we're sitting at. So, if you see TLT start skying and you see the dollar, the DXY start going up, that's when you really got to start getting scared about your silver and gold. Now that we're on the subject, let's look what happened to silver today. This poor little thing here. This poor little thing. What happened? Okay, we we were heading up to 30, and we got smacked just all the way down. Look at this gap. How much was this today? I think it was down like 15% at one point. About 16%, 15%. So it ended up catching this line here right around $24.50, $24.60. And then now after hours, it's just been going up. So that's fantastic. It actually went all the way up to, almost 26 after hours, came down a little bit, but now it's riding. It's, 0.6% up. But, watch this, just try to take care of yourself and only risk what you can afford to lose in this market, because this is some nasty looking stuff. Here we had this gap down here, and this was also telling me that we're probably okay. It's because back in, when was this? June 28th, so like a week and a half ago, we had a 15% correction also. So we went down like 15.36%, and we were only down about 16. So this still doesn't look good, obviously, but we did just have this big gap down. We'll see what happens here. But again, just pay attention to the cues, because again, when the next market does have its big tank, most stuff is going with it. Technically, the only thing that really doesn't like to is the TLT, because the second the SPY and everything starts tanking, the QQQ and all that, silver and gold does go with it at first. Now remember, once they finally bottom, they're one of the first to finally zoom back up and recover, but TLT is the first one that is the second that starts seeing volatility and going south. TLT is usually zap right up. So if you start seeing those, just keep your eye on it. NIO, I was actually surprised. So before, like right at open, this thing was up, I think it was like 9-10% or something like that, because the rest of the earnings came out and they actually looked pretty good. And so I thought people would still be buying it, but no, people are just getting aggressive with their selling, okay, and they're buying and selling. So I think that we should do that too. I honestly did think though that this thing would go up maybe another 15-20%, but I got to remember too, you've got like 1.2 billion shares I think in this too. So to get this thing up to 15% gain, there's so much money invested in it, compared to stuff like Workhorse that's only got like 100 million. So that thing can go parabolic super easy. This thing is tough to move. So regardless, it ended up ending like 8.5% down, which is nuts. Still didn't get the all-time highs today either, which is kind of crazy to me. But regardless, nothing bad happened with the company. It's all good. So people are just taking profit. I think we're gonna be fine if you're in this one. It's tagging the EMAs 100-day for sure, but we'll see. I think it's gonna start correcting and then just consolidate a little bit through here, but we'll see. Oh yeah, the other big, this thing blew my mind. So the Hycroft mining, right? We did a video, I don't know, about a month ago. Got in, could have got some killer profits on that. And then Friday we ended up selling, and we did that because on Monday the earnings were coming out, and we knew that they weren't going to be good because they were going to be spending all that money. They just got, they went shopping. Okay, they got the blank check basically, went shopping. And we knew that was going to happen. And they also aren't done with their leach pads, their extra leach pads. And they're not going to be done with those until September. So I knew, and my viewers should know, that we're not going to see those over 3%, 3x gains in gold and silver being pulled out of the ground until after the end of September. So keep that in mind. But regardless, the earnings came out and the money didn't look good. Why? Because they were spending money to get ready to ramp up over 3x production. I thought it looked fine. I knew it was exactly what they should have done as a business. But look what happened to this thing. It went from like $4 all the way down to like $1.35. That is absolutely insane. I thought it might get cut in half, but it blew past it. Unbelievable. So I ended up rebuying because we bought in here about 220. We ended up selling about 375, 378, and I ended up buying in around like 150 I think today. You can see the volume on that sell is just nasty, but regardless, that's why I love the mines in Nevada, because you can't really burn them down. There's nothing to burn. They can't freeze. Pipes ain't gonna freeze. So I think we'll be good to go with this. It still could be going down if silver still goes down a little bit tomorrow. It still could go down, but regardless, the price of these warrants right now are so ridiculously low. Whatever. If it goes down a little bit more, I might even buy it some more. So it is what it is. CPAA, I've talked about them 100 times, and so again, if you're looking for something to day trade, you could easily do these. Just make sure you do stop limits on them, because there's not a lot of volume, so you don't want to market into these, blind buy or blind sell, because you might get pulled way higher or way low. But regardless, you've got massive spreads, almost 2x in your money, quite often, at least 25%, every 3 or 4 or 5 days. So take a look at those, and other than that, I think that is it. Oh, you know what? No. Yeah, I already announced it. Okay. So I had an earlier video today, but I don't know if everyone watched it. If you didn't, we have a winner for the silver, okay? Because we hit that 1,000 subscribers. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for all the support. And the winner, if you didn't see the first video today, is Brendan and Ella's Fun Adventures. So thanks again for the support. You won. What are we gonna do next time? I will have to announce it on the next video, okay? I was actually gonna have it set up, and I just realized I didn't have it set up to show you guys. So we'll have to wait till next video for me to show you what we're going to give away, but it's pretty sweet. So thanks again, everybody. Any other plays you want me to look at or any more questions, just let me know. Did I miss any crazy news? Let me know too. Any quick due diligence you got, let me know. If you want me to look at some plays, try to give me more than just like the ticker or just like a random name, because some people have been giving me like a dead file or like a half name or something. Like, tell me the name, tell me the ticker, and then tell me what it's about real quick. That way I can at least try to find it, you know. And I appreciate everyone, and thanks again. If you do enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and make sure to leave any comments below. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night.